Okay, dear participants, again, good morning. We'll start exactly at 10:30, so we invite you to take the open seats that we have in this room. Again, good morning, and come along here. So we kindly ask you to wear the masks that we gave you out as part of the welcome pack. Please, again, please use them when you sit down in the room. So we invite you at 10:30 straight to sit down because we will have a broadcast running parallel. So please come and take a seat. Dear participants, please come into the room. We ask you to take your seats. Thank you.
Вы киваете мне, если работает, да? Нормально все?
Again, I would like to remind you that we will start a broadcast straight 10:30, and we will start on time today, so we kindly ask you to take your seats right now. Thank you very much. Colleagues, just 3 minutes before we begin, please take your seats. Colleagues, I hope everyone heard me. I even turned the volume up. Please take your seats. We have 2.5 minutes before we start today's opening of our wonderful digital office, Magniта, and please take your seats. And another kind request, your welcome pack today included our beautiful masks. Please use these masks. Thank you very much. Okay, dear participants, again, good morning, everyone, and everyone who sees and hears us in the broadcast. Just in a couple of minutes, we will start our action, our opening. So, people here with us in the room, I would like to remind you that we have our wonderful masks. Please use them appropriately. And people who are watching our broadcast, just a little patience, we will start soon.
Еще раз пожелаю доброе утро всем тем, кто смотрит нас в трансляции. Я знаю, что вы нас уже слышите и видите. Вам приятного дня сегодня. Смотрите нас сегодня в прямом эфире. Трансляция уже началась, ну а наше действие начнется буквально через несколько минут. Говорим доброе утро всем тем, кто с нами в трансляции.
Нужно обращаться к миру, чтобы открывать себя. Поэтому мы выходим с открытым запросом к тем, кто мыслит инновационно. Это дает возможность расти и не останавливаться на достигнутом.
Инновации определяют расклад сил в обозримом будущем. Бизнес не имеет прав оставаться на месте. Необходима постоянная эволюция, подпитка новыми идеями.
Все рождается из идей, и всему нужна среда. И Магнит является отличной средой, чтобы пробовать и реализовать идеи.
Participating in our accelerator program will not only help you to sharpen your idea, but also your proposition and your presentation skills.
Здесь, получается, встречаются два мира – корпорации и стартапов. И они обогащают друг друга своим опытом и экспертизой.
Это коллаборация инноваций и реальности. Точка силы. Мы – крупнейшая коммерческая логистика в стране. Инфраструктура от Мурманска до Астрахани и от Санкт-Петербурга до Кемерово.
Магнит охватывает территорию практически всей страны, все сферы – магазины, товародвижение и логистика, ассортимент, поставщики и собственное производство.
И ваши идеи помогают всему этому работать еще эффективнее.
Surprise us and remember, innovation is not only about creating new products or services.
Мы вместе создадим много нужного и интересного, что изменит отрасль и мир к лучшему.
Ну что, друзья, всем добрый день, здравствуйте, говорим мы вам, приветствуем вас.
Good day, everyone. Hello.
Приветствуем и тех, кто находится сейчас в этом зале, и приветствуем тех, кто сейчас смотрит нашу трансляцию. Мы говорим вам доброе утро. Мы начинаем. Я думаю, что сейчас в ролике открытия вы уже увидели важную, услышали важную информацию, но несколько важных моментов вам скажу, хотя наверняка вы об этом знаете, что Магнит — это крупнейшая розничная сеть в России, у которой более 20 тысяч магазинов, от Южного Сочи до Заполярного Мурманска, от Сибирского Красноярска до Москвы. Ну и только представьте, каждый день в торговые точки компании приходит до 16 миллионов покупателей. За 25 лет своей истории Магнит стал одним из ведущих игроков рынка и имеет уникальный богатый опыт продаж, развития форматов, создания привлекательных предложений для потребителей. И это единственный ритейлер в нашей стране, у которого такая мощная логистика и комплекс собственных предприятий по выпуску продуктов питания. Ну а цель Магнита — стать и быть больше, чем просто магазины, стать местом, где каждый найдет то, что ему нужно, и где каждый останется довольным. Именно поэтому компания меняется для покупателей, для бизнеса и проводит цифровую трансформацию. И как раз важная часть трансформации — это, конечно же, сотрудничество с фондом Сколково. И открытие офиса в Сколково позволит Магниту существенно повысить экспертизу в IT, получить доступ к инновациям и создать прочный фундамент для новых побед как традиционной розницы, которую мы знаем все, так и в e-commerce. Ну и сейчас меньше слов, больше дел. Я приглашаю на сцену Флориана Янсена, ваши аплодисменты, заместитель генерального директора, исполнительный директор ПАО «Магнит», Флориан, и Кирилл Каем, старший вице-президент по инновациям фонда Сколково. Кирилл, приветствую. Флориан, вам слово.
So Florian, the floor is yours.
I'm very happy to welcome you all of you to the office opening, and some of you will later on witness the first demo day of our joint acceleration program. So big thank you, and I'm very glad for our partnership.
Thank you very much, Florian. Actually, we had a short русский. Да, я прошу прощения.
I'm sorry. Most of the audience speaks Russian, so I will continue in Russian. So, I and Florian had a small discussion before we started, and we actually reached the conclusion that neither Magnit, nor Skolkovo don't have any chances if we don't do this, because the customer is changing, their habits are changing, and digitization is what is before us in the next 5 years. It's the necessary element of our lives in the future. We, together with retail, about a couple of years ago when we started, and Magniта actually became one of the first partners that started to look for innovations. We had about around 100 companies in our portfolio. Right now, companies that work with retail technologies is already number in more than 600. As you know, we already have the accelerator ongoing right now, and as part of the first stage, you will probably laugh, but we have 777 submissions. So it's a lucky number. And let's see how many of these submissions will actually reach the finals. And I hope that among these submissions, and of course, this is our main intention, because we're not looking for investments for startups from Magniта. We're actually looking for real implementations from these startups to implement solutions into stores, into logistics. And we hope that this will be useful not just for startups, but it will be first and foremost important and useful for Magniта, our partner. And we hope that our 600-meter office, and actually not an office, it will be a lab, a digital lab and R&D center for Magnita. I hope that these 600 meters will attract 600 more startups in the next 2 years. So I wish Magniта new success in their development.
Спасибо. Ну что, давайте тогда откроем наш сегодняшний цифровой инновационный центр. Я предлагаю спуститься нам вот сюда, к такому замечательному тачпэд-столу и подойти к нему. И давайте сделаем countdown. Okay, final countdown, сделаем обратный отчет. Если вы готовы, то можно и под ваши аплодисменты вместе с вами. Итак, друзья, будем сейчас открывать 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Итак, друзья, цифровой офис Магнита в Сколково официально открыт. Мы вас поздравляем! Ну что, Кирилл, спасибо большое.
Кирилл, thank you very much.
Фотографию, да, обязательно на память, конечно же, об этом замечательном событии. Ну а Флориан возвращается на сцену. У него есть микрофон, у него есть замечательная презентация. Самое время
wonderful presentation, and it's high time that he talks about the story today.
Laboratory, as we can indeed call this. Today you'll be safe, though. It is a very exciting day because Magnita, one of the leading corporations of the country beyond retail, has decided, after having shaped retail for the last 25 years, to get ready to also shape retail in the future. And our commitment to modernization and digitization couldn't really be stronger. Today's opening of the office here, as well as the basically demo day, are very two important marks on the journey that underline this commitment. So in the name of my colleagues, the management board of Magniта, let me invite you in the next 15 minutes to get a glance of what we're actually planning to do in the direction of digital transformation. Many of that was already kind of taken, pulled forward by the dear moderator. However, the message is, I think, very simple. Everything we touch in Magnita is pretty big. So even small improvements can have a fairly fundamental impact on what we're doing. I think that we should always keep in mind. And it is when we come later to the accelerator program, I think also the reason why we got a tremendous amount of applications. So very shortly, I think what is the for me most exciting piece of all of this is the fact that we have 16 million consumers on a daily basis in our 22,000 plus stores, but actually 60 million of them as active customers in total. So this is large amount of the Russian population that we're serving. That is of course a great responsibility that we're having next to the responsibility to take care of our more than 300,000 employees. Despite us being quite large already, we're still outgrowing the market, as this graph, I think, impressively shows, particularly in the last periods. We work very hard across the different functions and areas in the business to make that gap wider. As much as we wish the market to do well, we're doing everything to make Magnita outpace retail growth. And before I get into the bright digital future that we're all having ahead of us and that we're aspiring for, let me remind all ourselves about one fact. Innovation has always been actually in the DNA of the company. I remember a story, whether fully true or not, but I think it was around 5 years ago that Sberbank was visiting us in the Krasnodar headquarters to have a look at our situation center. I think maybe Evgeny you remember. But so that was like at that time, state-of-the-art technology, and people wanted to learn from us. The company, I think, had a high regard as a very technology-enhanced company across supply chain and IT. There were lots of innovations being discussed in the market. That was actually the first thing I learned about Magniта, probably like 6, 7 years ago. That this is the retailer with the most advanced supply chain process and technologies. And there are a couple of examples, without going through all of them. I think it is deeply rooted in the DNA, and that's why the kind of reintroduction of innovative levers, I think, are very well taken in the company. So, however, since the glorious times that I'm referring to from a tech point of view, I mean, a couple of things have actually happened. So first of all, we have outgrown, as a business, many of the underlying technologies that were enabling the business. Second, I think the world has changed, and technologies themselves have made a huge leap forward, enabling competition to operate differently, making consumers more demanding, and ultimately also our employees, actually. So the world has changed dramatically on the tech side itself. And third, as I said, in the last couple of years, we had simply other priorities. We were investing into the store and selling space growth. We were introducing and growing new formats. And technology was ultimately coming a little bit short. And that kind of graph on the bottom, and without revealing here the exact numbers, illustrate that in the past years we had fairly, a bit of an underinvestment, given that even the higher bars are below or at the industry benchmarks. So we are dedicated to bring Magnita back to technology leadership in retail. And in order to do that, we, I think, formed a great team of different professionals from different areas, taking care of a few different directions. As a very quick introduction, I mean, myself, I was working for the last 10 years, although being German, in Russian e-commerce, mostly in fashion, but also a bit in food. And the year before joining the team, I had the chance to work as an independent board member to serve Magnita as an independent board member, and had actually a chance to understand the potential this great company has. Now with me in the dream team that helps digitalizing the business, we have on the top Evgeny and Valentin taking care of the IT. We have next to that Svetlana, who's running the ERP. I think actually many representatives of that work stream from our partners are here as well. We have data and analytics, a very essential piece that is represented by Fabian, you can find over here. Kirill, digital products, something that wasn't existent until you basically came, so a couple of weeks back. Innovations partnerships, including e-commerce, that's what Pavel is responsible for. So also basically the host of the innovations piece that brings many people today here. Marketing, Bert. I think Bert is connected now digitally as it is possible these days. And special projects, Andre. And last but not least, Paul running the transformation office. So I won't go through all the different, let's say, directions in detail, but I'd like to summarize what my colleagues and our teams are actually working on. So the ultimate mission is to provide Magnita with with technologies that a company of that scale and of that development deserves. And that means given where we are today, it means a pretty massive program. And as any massive program in any massive company as ours, this is fairly complex. The best way to summarize it is to kind of describe it in 4 buckets. So the first bucket is strengthening the IT fundamentals. I'll mention a few details later. The second one is enabling the business through state-of-the-art technologies and data and technology solutions. Third one We need to strengthen our digital brand and the non-digital as well. And last but not least, we want to accelerate the pace of change that we all think is required and healthy for us. So across those 4 blocks, we have identified and started about 27 large initiatives. I'll give you a bit of a glance in the next minutes. So the first direction on strengthening the IT fundamentals is pretty much, aiming to modernize the basics. One of the first and most important changes is the way we work. So from a very kind of strict waterfall logic in the past, we are now moving towards a more hybrid model with product approaches where suitable. And this has been started, from an organizational point, from a process point, from a point of, all the agile rituals. I mean, this is basically starting as we speak, but it's, of course, a journey to complete it. The second one to mention here, it's an obvious one, but something kind of new for us is moving a lot of infrastructure into the cloud. And we continue doing that in order to ensure scalability and performance for all the things that are coming. The third one to mention here, and that is a very long-term effort, but a really, really important one, is to strengthen our employer brand. Magnita, as a superb tech employer, is probably nothing, besides the people who already joined for that reason, it's nothing that you would have in mind as a first attribute, right? But that has to be that way. I think we deserve to have that branding if we go through all that journey. And vice versa, we depend on a great employer brand as we depend on a great consumer brand. So, and then the last one, I think very kind of generically speaking, we need better tools and processes to enable our people to work better. And as a result of all of that, we do think we can boost productivity. We can increase the ROI of our development projects. And also very important these days, and I think for everyone who is very impatient like me, we need to, and we will get faster time to market. So while doing this kind of, call it IT fundamentals fix, we are running the ERP on the basis of SAP. Think, and to just remind you, it's 1 out of 27 initiatives. And the ERP itself is seen by many as a transformation effort itself, as it spans a huge investment of, we estimate, and hopefully not more than 8 billion ruble in the next 5 years. More than 150 people internally will work on it, and in addition to that, about 300 people from our 8 integrators. So it's a huge effort that Svetlana and the team is leading, and it creates actually huge opportunities. And one of the opportunities, not only coming from the ERP introduction, but from many other things, is the increased availability of good data. So our job is it to kind of make use of it. I mean, we definitely want to make use of the opportunities we are creating on the way. And in order to do this, we are changing a few things. So first of all, the situation today with a very decentralized approach, a fairly small team looking at kind of, let's say, central data management aspects, while having a lot of shadow data management, needs to be changed. We need to have all people working in one environment, in one direction. Second, we need a better infrastructure. Without referring to the exact solutions we are using today, it is a bit outdated and I think too monolithic, and we need to change that going forward. And we need to supplement these kind of, let's say, standard solutions that are or industrial solutions with built-to-suit, highly specialized tools such as the FNR software that we're basically implementing, or a very important piece, the promo optimization software. On the reporting side, to also mention that, we have to move from semi-automated reporting in many areas to fully automate it. And what maybe is even more important, we have to change looking in the past only and start predicting the future. So this very high level, let's say, a very high level message. If you are very interested in digging deeper, again, feel free to speak to the team that's here. So that's maybe the topic most referred to when people speak about digitalization. They think it's about e-commerce and apps, and actually it is a very, very important aspect. So we already today have one of the largest loyalty systems with more than 35 million of members actively using it. However, the digital touch points there are, I would say, below our aspiration, and I think below market standards for now. So what we are doing now, and what we have started actually, and the team before us has started, and we're hopefully bringing this to the next level now, is to implement, next to loyalty, also e-commerce services. A couple days ago, we basically launched with our partner Delivery Club already the service in Moscow. It actually is going really well, so we're quite satisfied. Yandex Yeda will follow, and the e-pharma product was basically internally tested, and I think shortly will be launched publicly. And then what we ultimately want to do is we, of course, want to use the very strong consumer brand of Magniта to be the host of delivery services as well. So the Magnita branded grocery delivery will, I think, also happen later this year. And what you basically kind of see here is what we already working on. You can call it the upcoming super app that we would like to bring to the market. We will start with the loyalty aspects so that this already very large scale aspect of the business is handled to the with the highest possible customer experience. And then we're adding all the different elements to it, such as delivery services, payments, and a couple of other services that probably we mentioned at a later stage. So next to systems, technologies, we, of course, as I mentioned earlier, we want to accelerate the pace of change, and that touches the culture that we believe future retail requires. It's fair to say that the culture of Magnita today is rather traditional, and it has served our traditional business model actually really well. As the future, I think, requires more technologically advanced behavior and operations, this, I think, requires also more agile setup and hence different behavior. So it will require a slight adjustment of the culture. And part of our job is to help our CEO and our management colleagues to facilitate that change. And the culture we are envisioning, again, there's an overarching umbrella culture, and then you have, of course, different, let's say, rules in different parts of the business. But overall, we would like to strive for creating a open, modern culture that is, very much around collaboration, flexible teams. And one element I think also important for that is to think about permanent development, constant development. That is about people, it's about processes, and of course also products and services. So like we think on the CVP side already, as a permanent journey that never really ends, I think that's what you probably need to reflect in your culture. So I said earlier that in our DNA has always been innovation and technology to some degree. We want to bring this back to life or revive it and bring it to new heights. What we have started is to put an innovations team in place led by Evgeny, who you can find here. And the team is already working very closely with the business to screen ideas and move them through the innovations funnel. So the idea is that the team at full capacity runs about 40 pilots per year, selected from the over 1,000 ideas brought into the funnel. And at the end, we do expect quite a substantial bottom line effect. If that comes true, we're aiming for a 4 billion bottom line effect. So it is a different way of working by looking at very small things and growing them inside, but it can actually have substantial impact. So Skолково, we are here because Skолkovо is, for us, a very important centerpiece on that journey. To ensure, however, that we have always, the broadest possible view and we put all the good ideas into the funnel in the first place, we will go beyond Skолkovо. So we look at external and internal sources as well as, inside Russia and outside of Russia. So however far we go, we always consider Skолковo basically, well, as we're celebrating today, a very important ignition point. And I'm looking forward to a multi-year, hopefully multi-decade partnership. So you already mentioned it, Kirill, briefly. We had quite amazing numbers coming in from the accelerator program, which we're basically bringing to a final today. The 777 applications are approximately 2x of what typically these accelerator programs bring about. So I think that, as mentioned in the very beginning, is a reflection of the opportunities that Magnita as a platform, I think, brings. And also, I think it reflects the potential that we're having by using an innovation-centric approach. So the applications came in indeed from all over the world, from San Jose to Khabarovsk, and we are really excited to learn more later at the demo day. So to sum up, I think everyone, maybe except our competition, will be very happy. I think for customers it is very quickly visible that the consumer experience in the store and out of the store will become a lot more convenient. The efficiency gains that we hope our technology and data solutions bring about allow us to sustain our very great price positioning, a very important feature. Whatever fancy things we do, this is extremely important. For our business and support functions, I think we're hopefully creating many opportunities for development that today wouldn't be possible. And very essential, as I mentioned earlier, data-driven decision-making. We do hope that this becomes the norm across the different areas of the business. For our tech colleagues, so the people who actually need to make many of these things happen, we do think that the new infrastructure will benefit to deliver solutions and to run solutions faster and more efficiently. And in the end, I think our shareholders will enjoy the benefit of a company that is ready for the future, bringing in sustainable growth rates and also profitability at a very high level. So, as a final accord, let me make a call to all of you and your personal and professional networks. While we're very confident, we're also humble enough to say that this journey is very challenging, and to make that journey a successful journey and to arrive where we want to arrive at, we do need great people and we do need great partners. So whoever feels ready for the challenge to join our team, we should have the contacts of Anastasia down there. Please feel free. We're very happy to bring more talent into this great company. And if you're a partner and you have great ideas how to make us stronger through good partnerships, then Pavel will be the guy to approach. So this is it. I want to say again, big thank you to all of you for coming, physically and also through streaming. So this is an important day for us, and also, I think, for our partnership with Skолково, a very important mark. So, thank you, and I'm open for questions, if any.
Thank you, Florian. Да, друзья, большое спасибо. У нас есть возможность сейчас задавать вопросы. Давайте договоримся. У нас как оффлайн, так и онлайн формат. Все, кто в онлайне, можете писать вопрос в чат. Все, кто находится вместе с нами, слева и справа у нас есть микрофоны, мы вам поможем, поэтому поднимайте руки и задавайте ваши вопросы. Спускаюсь к вам в зал и готов вам передавать микрофон и озвучить их. Если есть вопросы, задавайте. Или была вполне исчерпывающая информация, да, и все вопросы кулуарные и уже после. Да, я правильно понимаю?
Do you understand it properly?
Florian, no questions for you. I think I check questions in online, but right now we don't have some questions from online.
So that's a compliment to Pavel who prepared the content. So.
Спасибо большое. Давайте еще раз поаплодируем Флориану. Спасибо.
Congratulations.
Поздравляем. Ну что, друзья, все знаете, уже сказали о том, что совсем скоро пройдет демо-день акселератора стартапов Магнитек. Ну а наш первый инструмент фактически открытых инноваций. На нем мы увидим питчи стартапов, которые отобрали под бизнес-потребности. Об этом мы сегодня уже говорили, вы уже это слышали. И в онлайн, и здесь в офлайн, как теперь говорят в формате. Ну а те, кто успешно подтвердит гипотезы в пилоте, сможет дальше масштабировать решения, соответственно, по всей компании. Ну и цель, конечно же, найти те команды, которые прежде всего готовы стать лидерами рынка. Уже, я думаю, многие задумались над своими идеями. Спасибо большое всем присутствующим, спасибо большое тем, кто смотрел нас в онлайне, тем, кто сейчас был здесь вместе с нами. Еще раз давайте поаплодируем, это было замечательное открытие. Прекрасное пространство, уже, да, действительно трудно это назвать офисом, это такое инновационное пространство, в котором будет много работы, много интересных проектов. Еще раз большое вам спасибо.